Hi, nice to see you again.
Yeah.
One minute to finish.
Yes, please.
Move on.
Hey, morning, sir. Yes, sir. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, members of the press. If you are done, then we can get started. All right, thank you. Can we start this ceremony with a moment of prayers in our individual ways, please. Amen. May the Almighty accept all our prayers. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan to the Gambia, Senegal, Guinea-Bissau, and Cape Verde, His Excellency Osamu Izawa, the representative of the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of the Interior, the Republic of the Gambia, the Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, Mr. Sidi M. Toure, the OIC, IOM, the Gambia, ably representing the Chief of Mission, Mr. Stephen Matete, the Honorary Consul of Japan to the Gambia, Mr. George Madi, the Director General, the Managing Director, Gambia Ports Authority, Mr. Osman Jobate, the representative of the Chief of Defense Staff, Gambia Armed Forces, Lieutenant Commander Farah Job, the representative of the Chief Fire Officer, Republic of the Gambia, Divisional Fire Officer, Bunja Suso, the Director General Representative of the Gambia Maritime Agency, Mr. Ibrahim Eba, members of the Spanish diplomatic antenna in the presence of Mr. Salvador and Lieutenant Jose Fernando, officers and men of the Corps Gambia, senior officers here present, and of course, members of the media fraternity, ladies and gentlemen. This morning is indeed a very pleasant morning for the leadership and men and women of the Gambia Immigration Department, and by extension, the citizens and people of the Republic of the Gambia, for the fact that we have gathered here to yet celebrate and inaugurate another moment of our fruitful relationship with some of our key and most steadfast partners in the business of migration management. Here we gathered this morning here at the naval base in Banjul to commission and grace the handing over ceremony of a patrol boat that has been donated to the Gambia Immigration Department by the IOM, the Gambia, with funding from the government of Japan. Ladies and gentlemen, our relationship with IOM and government of Japan have exceeded 1 decade in my county. And this decade of relationship has been categorized and largely seen as that of mutual beneficial and one that is bent on serving the purpose of humanity in general. Because when we talk about curbing and discouraging irregular migration, which is not just dangerous, but also a socio-economic problem to our country, then that is definitely service to humanity. My names are Chief Superintendent Mamande S. Deba. I am the Press and Public Relations Officer for the Gambia Immigration Department, your MC in the next 1 hour or less than that, because we will try to make it as brief as possible. We can see some of the officers are on the sun, but it was it all, noting the relevance of this occasion and the benefit that is attached to it. On that note, I wouldn't bore you with long opening remark, because I am just to moderate this occasion. We have some very relevant and high-profile dignitaries here who will be dwelling on the essence of this gathering today. From His Excellency the Ambassador himself, the Director General, our host here, that is the Managing Director of Ports Authority, Mr. Jabate, are some of the dignitaries who will be talking to you today. So on that note, I would just want to say we welcome you all heartily to this very auspicious morning gathering. It is part of my responsibility this morning to briefly give you a rundown of the event today. Having observed the arrival of guests at the Gambia Immigration Headquarters and the inspection of quarter guard by His Excellency Ambassador and a courtesy call to the Director General of Immigration, we are here on another phase of our engagements this morning. And here we are going to have an opening remarks that will be delivered by the Managing Director, Gambia Ports Authority, in the respectful person of Mr. Osman Jabate. And this will be followed by a statement from the IOM, which will be delivered by the OIC, Mr. Stephen Matete. Mr. Matete's remarks will be followed by a statement by His Excellency Ambassador of Japan, Mr. Osamu Izawa. And right after that, we will have a statement from the Director General of Gambia Immigration Department, Mr. Sidi M. Toure. At the end of the whole program, we will be witnessing a vote of thanks from the Public Relations Officer, GID, in my humble person, Mr. Chief Superintendent Rada Mamading S. Diba. Right after that, we will have the actual handing over of the boat that is going to be delivered by His Excellency the Ambassador to the Director General of Immigration. And we will have a short refreshment or a reception that will be held in honor of our dignitaries here. I know the protocol will direct us when we get to that. On that note, I now have the singular honor and privilege to call on the Managing Director of Gambia Ports Authority, Mr. Osman Jabate, to lead us in these proceedings by delivering a welcome remark. Mr. Jabate, please.
Republic of the Gambia, Excellency Osamu Izawa, the Director General Gambia Immigration Department, Mr. Sidi M. Toure, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Foreign Affairs, the Permanent Secretary, Minister of Interior, the eminent personalities here present, I say a big welcome to you all. It is indeed our pleasure to be associated with this important occasion this morning, which is a hallmark of the friendly relations that Gambia has with Japan. As a port, one would wonder what binds us to this occasion. But one of our strongest selling points as an international link in the supply chain is safety and efficiency. And this is all because of the fruitful collaboration we have with all the sister agencies working in the Ports Authority, which are all housed in our facility, and none other than immigration. In the Ports Act, we have statutory, there are a lot of uncertainties. And one of the key responsibilities of government is to contribute to ensure that irregular migration is covered, at least to encourage citizens to stay within their homes and be gainfully utilized in other productive sectors that will serve to contribute towards socio-economic development. So I would say it is a very hearty welcome to Your Excellency Osamu Izawa, and we encourage the relationship to be strengthened further, and the Immigration Department also to make good use of this equipment so that it will serve its intended purpose. I thank you all for your attention.
The Managing Director of Gambia Ports Authority, Mr. Jabate, for those warm words of welcome. Thank you so much, sir. What I do next is to call on the representative of the IOM in the person of Mr. Stephen Matete, who is the OIC
agency border coordination while positively contributing to social economic development in the country. With generous funding from the government of Japan, I'm honored to have supported the government of the Gambia, and in particular GID, in delivering interventions that have resulted in remarkable improvement in border management operations, as well as the lives of border communities in this country. Before I delve into the achievement of the last 4 years of the series of projects funded by the government of Japan, I wish to take a moment to provide a brief background and context to the rationale and design of these interventions. Over the past few years, the pursuit of socioeconomic advancement has driven many Gambian migrants to migrate and undertake irregular migration journeys with the aim of reaching Europe, leading to a per capita migration rate that remains one of the highest in Africa. Limited viable economic opportunities are identified as the main cause of immigration by young Gambians without vocational skills, leading to high rates of irregular migration between 2015 to 2017. Primarily through the central Mediterranean route, during these 3 years, more than 30,000 irregular Gambian migrants' arrivals were recorded. While these numbers have since decreased year on year, Gambian migrants' arrivals were recorded. While these numbers have decreased over the years, 2,708 in 2018, 394 in 2019, 262 in 2020, and there's generally more awareness on the risk of irregular migration. There remains strong interest in Europe-bound migration. Against this background, and since 2018, the so-called Western Mediterranean route by sea to Canary Island has seen a steep rise in its use. In December 2019, a fatal shipwreck off the coast of Mauritania, a case in which hundreds of Gambians took off from the Gambia to reach the Canary Islands by boat, resulted in over 60 deaths. Worsened by the deteriorating economic situation due to the pandemic throughout 2020, and in particular since late September of 2021, the trend of Gambian migrants embarking on the maritime route is increasing. IOM continues to provide assistance to Gambians intercepted at sea who have returned. There's a need to empower potential migrants with the capacity to make informed migration-related decisions, and the need to work with relevant stakeholders in combating smuggling and trafficking in persons. While protecting vulnerable migrants, strong border management system and operations are the cornerstone of migration governance architecture to facilitate safe, early, and regular as envisaged in the Global Compact for Migration, which is grounded in the UN Sustainable Development Goals. In this dynamic and shifting migration context in the Gambia, IOM's border management projects funded by the government of Japan has evolved to address the most pressing and urgent needs that have not been addressed by other donors. In fact, the government of Japan is the first donor to specifically support border management operation strengthening in the Gambia. To date, this support over the last 4 fiscal years has amounted to nearly around $2.6 million US. At this time, I would like to briefly summarize some of the key achievements realized since 2018 with the support from the government of Japan. This has included work with regards to evidence-based policy making and coordination structures. Your Excellency, you already have with you the comprehensive border assessment, which the Director General handed over to you, which was done in 2018. We already have established a border management thematic working group at the national coordination level, headed by the Office of the Vice President to improve overall border management governance. Already at our land border posts, around 9 of them, there's already an interagency border coordination committees established. There also has been substantial institutional capacity building trainings conducted with over 118 senior immigration officials on various issues on document security, fraud detection, and protection of vulnerable migrants. There have also been a lot of infrastructure support, hardware, and also equipment, one of which, Your Excellency, you've seen the Migration Information Data Analysis System that is already rolled out in 4 border posts in the country, and we continue expanding this support across the country. At the same time, there are also new 2 infrastructure facilities that have also been constructed in the Gambia, in Sabi and Nyamanar. The speedboat we are handing over today is a 36-foot fiberglass boat with 300 horsepower Yamaha heartbound engine with standard specification, fitted with communication kits, life jackets, and safety kits. 4 GID officials assigned for these boat operations have been trained on Yamaha engine maintenance course by a certified Yamaha instructor to ensure proper use and maintenance of the speedboat. Furthermore, there are plans also this week to conduct training targeting border officials on search and rescue operations at sea to improve their capacities in maritime surveillance. This will be conducted by our able through interagency cooperation led by the Navy and also the civil guardian from the government of Spain, who are also with us here today. The speedboat will contribute to building the Gambians' operational capacity in maritime security and enhance interagency coordination for maritime surveillance by maritime security agencies represented here today to help address irregular migration and combat transnational organized threats. It also contributes to the Global Compact for Migration Objective 9 that talks about addressing smuggling of migrants, Objective 10 to address trafficking in persons, and also Objective 11 with regard to managing borders in an integrated, secure, and coordinated manner. Your Excellency, I wish you had more time in the Gambia for you to visit some of the remote border posts to witness the remarkable change the infrastructure upgrade and related improvements funded by the government of Japan have made in the delivery of immigration service and socioeconomic development of the local communities. In closing, and on behalf of IOM, I would like to first of all thank the government of Gambia, in particular Ministry of Interior, for the overall guidance and coordination, but especially the Gambia Immigration Department, under the strong leadership of the Director General, for your overarching vision for the department in border management operations and for the trust you have placed in IOM to support you in this important mandate. I am deeply humbled to be able to represent IOM, and on behalf of my Chief of Mission, Ms. Fumiko Nagano, I express our profound gratitude to the government and the people of Japan, represented by the Embassy of Japan in Dakar, and in particular by His Excellency the Ambassador, for the general financial support that made nearly all of IOM Gambia interventions in border management possible. I am very grateful for your general support and confidence in IOM in the Gambia. I do not have the words to express the depth of the gratitude we feel for the continued support for the government of Japan has accorded IOM over the past 4 years to improve border management in the Gambia. We look forward to even deeper cooperation in the coming years ahead. Thank you very much. And on this note, with the mandate of leaving no migrant behind, IOM looks forward to further assist the government of the Gambia in ensuring that the Gambia's borders facilitate safe, orderly, dignified, and humane migration. I thank you very much.
Mr. Toure, Director of the Gambian Immigration Department, Mr. Jawadi, Gambian Port Authority, Mr. Matete, Program Coordinator of IOM, and the Permanent Secretaries of the relevant ministries, and ladies and gentlemen, I have the great honor and pleasure to attend the handing over ceremony of speedboats provided within the project of strengthening operational capacities for Gambian authorities to manage borders and respond to health crisis and the socio-economic impacts of COVID-19. It is pleased to inform you that this ceremony became the first official ceremony for me as ambassador to the Gambia. And I really thank very much Madam Nagano, IOM Chief of Mission, and her team for kind support to my first visit to the Gambia, with close collaboration with the GID, who kindly supported and facilitated our crossing border line of Senegal and the Gambia. This project aims to strengthen maritime and border management and health emergency preparedness and response at the port of entry and address the socio-economic impact of COVID-19 on cross-border traders. The speedboat fitted with a Yamaha engine procured in this project is estimated to contribute to minimize the loss of living lives of young Gambians by organized smuggling syndicates promoting irregular migration at sea. Japan announced a new approach of peace and stability in Africa in the African Conference. This approach is based on the idea of the respect for Africa's ownership in conflict resolution and addressing the root cause of conflicts and terrorism. Today's project, of which one of the outcome is to strengthening maritime and land border management capacity for safe and orderly flow of travelers, concretizes the idea of NAPSA. I'm sure that border control capacity of GID were strengthened by training organized by IOM Gambian office and procured a speedboat. Personally, even though I'm a career diplomat, but I was attached to the Defense Ministry. And as you know, Japan is an island. So Japan recognized how important to secure the maritime safety and the safety. In the West Africa, Gambia and Senegal and neighboring countries, we have to secure the safety, peace, and stability in this region. And without sea control, without maritime security, we cannot achieve it. So this is why Japan is very happy to contribute to strengthening the capacity of maritime safety in this area. And I have the pleasure to announce that Tokyo conference will be held on late August this year. On this occasion, the participation of a representative of the Gambia is highly expected. The importance of the peace and stability in Africa will also stress and underline at the TICAD next conference. In this time, from this point of view, this ceremony will be an important step towards our conference, Africa. I wish a great success to the partnership between government of Japan and the government of the Gambia and IOM. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
The importance of maritime security cannot be overemphasized. And we have every cause to believe in your words, because you are coming from a country that is an island country. So if there is something that we need to know about the importance of maritime security, Japan is one country that we can look up to. And we pledge our commitment to strengthen this cooperation with you through the IOM in the coming months and years to come. Thank you very much for those beautiful words of inspiration. And thank you so much once again. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw to the climax of this gathering, before I call on our next speaker, who is, of course, the Director General of the Gambia Immigration Department, I wish to announce that after the handing over of the boat, the Director General and His Excellency the Ambassador and officials from the IOM will embark on a short movement, should I call it a patrol or a boat ride. They are going to test these waters first before any other person. So we are going to see that. I want to have the singular honor and privilege to call on my humble Director General of Gambia Immigration Department, Mr. CDM Toure, to share a word of joy, because I'm sure his own is more of a joy than an official remark here. Sir, you can share your joy with us.
Okay. Your Excellency, Ambassador Designate of Japan to the Gambia, Ambassador Zawa, the representative of the Ministry of Interior, representative of the Chief Fire Officer, and then, of course, not to forget Lieutenant Commander Farajuk of Gambia Navy, my own senior brother and friend, the Managing Director of Gambia Post Authority, Mr. Usman Jabate, the representative of Gambia Maritime Agency, the Honorary Consul of Japan to the Gambia, Mr. Madi, the IOM Chief of Mission, ably represented by Director for Border Management, Mr. Steven Matete, the Spanish Diplomatic Antenna, members of the COP project, the liaison officer, Spanish Guardia Civil, my good friend, Mr. Salvador, other colleagues from sister services, and of course, not to forget my fellow immigration officers, members of the Fourth Estate, that's the press, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Border management and control, including the regulation of the movement of people traveling in and out of the country, is a cardinal and core mandate of the Gambia Immigration Department. This core mandate, by all means, also includes the control of movement of people in and out of the country through the sea, with particular emphasis on prohibition of irregular migration. The Gambia is well known, is a major country of origin and destination for irregular migrants, and in recent years, due to the geographic proximity to Europe, it is increasingly becoming a country used by migrant smugglers as a transit to European destinations. It is worthwhile to note that recently, this irregular migration trend has significantly shifted from land routes towards Libya and the central Mediterranean to sea routes along the Atlantic Ocean and the western Mediterranean Sea, leading towards the Canary Island in the Kingdom of Spain. This dangerous and perilous menace over the years caused the loss of so many young lives who have perished at sea in the hands of unscrupulous migrant smugglers who are only interested in their financial returns. The Gambia Immigration Department in recent years employed all mechanisms and efforts to fight irregular migration, especially at sea. However, the department was greatly constrained, especially with lack of the necessary seagoing equipment and tools to effectively and efficiently patrol the maritime coast. Therefore, the donation and handing over of a speedboat to the GID today is a very positive development and significant in many respects. Henceforth, with the aid of this speedboat, the GID will be able to conduct regular maritime patrols and effectively respond to reports of potential irregular migration boat departures from the Gambia. These efforts will not only aid the department to control and patrol the sea borders for national security, but most importantly, will save many young lives that could have perished at sea in the hands of the smugglers. The magnificent speedboat that is being handed over here today is procured under the border management project entitled Strengthening Operational Capacities for Gambian Authorities to Manage Borders, Respond to Health Crisis and Socio-Economic Impact of COVID-19. The project is funded by the government of Japan and implemented jointly by the International Organization for Migration and the Gambia Immigration Department. Ladies and gentlemen, it is worthwhile to note that since 2018, the government of Japan has been funding the implementation of very successful border management projects, which have significantly reformed and revolutionized our border management systems. Key among these efforts include the infrastructural development at various land border posts, the human capital development through the provision of a series of border management trainings, the provision of border patrol equipment, the creation and sustenance of interagency border coordination committees, among many other positive developments were all achieved through such projects. However, Your Excellency, perhaps the most significant activity undertaken through these projects was the establishment of the Migration Information Data Analysis System at key land border posts of the country. This system has the capacity of collecting, processing, storing, and analyzing traveler information in real time and across an entire border network by capturing both the biographic and biometric information of travelers. On that note, Your Excellency, on behalf of the government of the Gambia, and indeed on my own behalf, I would like to extend our heartfelt appreciation and thanks to you, through you to the good people and government of Japan for availing us this magnificent speedboat and for all the other support rendered to the department through IOM for the development of our border management system. We are truly grateful, Your Excellency. We sincerely look forward to more fruitful collaboration and support in the future as we continue striving to improve border management and to make migration safe, orderly, and regular as enshrined in the objective of the United Nations Global Compact for Migration, GCM. In conclusion, I would equally like to sincerely thank Madam Fumiko Nagano and her entire IOM team, especially the Integrated Border Management team headed by Mr. Matete, and the Migration Management Unit headed by my able Commissioner, Barrister Fourier Gassama, for the excellent implementation of the successful IBM project in the recent past. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate your kind attention. Thank you very much.
The remark from the Director General of Immigration, and that was the last remark or statement that we are going to officially observe here. With that, ladies and gentlemen, I think we have come to the climax of this gathering this morning. And the last and the final itinerary on the agenda is a vote of thanks that is coming from my humble self. Your Excellency, the Ambassador of Japan, the OIC, International Organization for Migration, Mr. Stephen Motete, the Director General of Immigration, the Honorary Consul of Japan to the Gambia, Mr. George Madi, the representative of the CDS and all the service chiefs here present, our host, the Managing Director of Gambia Ports Authority, Mr. Osman Jabate, members of the Spanish Diplomatic Antenna, distinguished ladies and gentlemen of the press. I am deeply humbled and privileged to have served as your MC today and equally given the task of delivering the vote of thanks on behalf of my Director General, members of his senior leadership, and the people of the Gambia Immigration Department. Like I've said in the opening words when I first stood here this morning, I am profoundly happy to be associated with this occasion. Likewise, the GID, the entire GID for that matter, we are profoundly happy to have received Your Excellency, the Ambassador here in our midst, but most profoundly happy for the fact that we have received something that we have never received in the history of our department, that is a speedboat of this nature. As far as we know, this boat is not just going to boost our capacity, but it is also going to help us save most of our young people who will try to embark on irregular migration journeys that mostly end up disastrous. Your Excellency, the Department of Immigration has been seriously constrained when it comes to our capabilities in terms of sea patrols and surveillance along the coastline. But with this magnificent gesture, we hope this is going to further boost our operational capabilities, and this is going to help us better execute our mandate, our statutory mandate for that matter. On that note, we want to thank all of you, ladies and gentlemen here present. Most profoundly, we want to appreciate the coming of the members of the press, who are, of course, the Fourth Estate, and your valuable services to this country and to my department is well appreciated. Some of you turn up to come at just very short notice, but despite that, you have managed to come from near and far, just to make sure that you cover this ceremony. It shows us how important you take this occasion to be, and it shows us how serious you take our department to be in the business of providing national security. We thank you so much. We thank you very enormously, and we hope this is going to be a continuation. This is going to be something that is going to be sustained in our mutual interest. On that note, not to bore you, it is very hot. We want to thank all of you ladies that have been sharing with us for all these years. Thank you very much. We thank you so much. We thank you very profoundly. That's the official handing over of the keys to the boat from the Ambassador of Japan to the Director General, Gambia Immigration Department.
Mbadingolu alla jahalo bantara fereng New Life Animal Farm natale andi be mobile jam febe jahallinde be saji yo bonde damen walla basan damen to New Life Animal Farm natale kalu nyaal fita nde sajiol dila la mel yalan ko ni asamba ya sidi tilikilin tilifula aifa anide sajiol be mbulle mel yalan ko I warta andum fanan ila jata kende sabatita amanke banna selo dammati baratul fanan mel yalan ko albela firin ka furu sitole ke manyo bitolu anin kulliyolu nga sajiol sodole akendema ana betema New Life Animal Farm felenting ale jiboro koto al sefrano mol male anenyin nombalto 7979495 wala 2032924 atol fana mel yalan ko atol le diaspora al se mol sudno anenyin nombatole +120 696 32